Hello and a warm welcome to Conny Decorates today, and of course, as always, with heart and with lots and lots of heart. Laura, exactly. And today, once again, after a long day of work, but this time with truly excellent sound quality, beautiful bright sunshine and a delightful, gentle bit of an early autumn mood settling in. And that's our lovely homemade wreath, crafted with, yes, an abundance of vibrant heather and a charming soft bit of fabric carefully incorporated. And whatever else we found along the roadside or right outside our front door. And if you want to know how this wreath works or this lantern, just stay tuned because we're going to show you now. And these are the things we'll need today for our project. I'll just call it an autumnal lantern, late summer, autumnal. That's how we're doing it. And we'll start right away here with our berries, which grow right in front of our house. So I just grabbed a glove and another pair. I cut some of those off, and then I spent a long time in the garden today, already starting to trim everything back here. And here I have the fruit of the rose hips, and I think the orange-yellow color is just perfect. Then I also have some chestnuts here, which also grow right outside our door. I have this super old wreath, which you probably know. Last time I decorated it with ferns. I've taken the ferns off, but I still have this base. Then I also have some heather here from the last decorating ideas. And what else do I have? I have a burlap sack. I have hay. I have moss. And yes, a bit of bark. And what else I have? A birch tree just fell over here near us. So I just took some branches with me. The leaves are still on them and they've already turned brown. Maybe we can incorporate that into the decoration. But I'd say, let's get started. And we'll start, I'd say, with the burlap sack, right, Laura? Definitely. I'm curious. Laura is taking the potatoes with her today. And the burlap sack, we'll just include that in the decoration today. And of course, you can use any kind of fabric you have. Linen fabric, coarse linen is always really cool too. Especially if you're bringing a lantern indoors or have it under a roof, that's great. But this one here, like this burlap sack, is of course perfect for outdoor use. And I'm just going to cut this one in half right here. What's really cool now, I think, for this decoration, especially with this red lettering and this green tower here, that really fits as well. Absolutely perfect for autumn decorations. And that's why I decided to use the front, the printed side. And now I'm just going to cut a few strips from it. I almost forgot that we have the lantern, or rather, for the lantern I just went down to the basement to have a look. I have various glass containers and I really like this one. It actually broke off from the column this time, so I took the glass from it and it's perfect. You can easily put a real wax candle in here, but just like this light, it's also fantastic, so you can absolutely use it in here. And then you can also decorate it beautifully from the outside. I'm just checking the diameter now, and I think I need a bit more volume, so I'll take the birch branches and tie them in here. I've twisted the binding wire around once here, and now I have these. These are the branches. And that fits perfectly with the theme, of course, so I'll go ahead and secure the first branch here. Once with the wire, and now I'll loosely wrap it around here and add the next branch. It really makes a wonderful strand. But of course, you can use anything you have, even as a base structure, if you have a straw wreath. I'm just sticking it in here between the layers, just inserting it. It always holds. Perfect. And then I take the wire and tie it very loosely in place.
One thing they will promise.
Just roughly wrap it all the way around once because we'll be going around several more times to secure everything. And now I'll just start with this jute fabric here and crumple it up. And I think, look at this combination here. Even with these, I find it really beautiful. But we want to fill it out a bit more fully, so first I'll carefully secure the fabric right here. And since I want to add a bit of natural greenery, I'll just take some fresh moss and gently add it here as well, carefully wrapping it around with my sturdy floral wire. And now I've already carefully cut some beautiful heather, and I have just gently placed it next to the wreath here. Now I am also meticulously placing the delicate heather onto the wreath itself. We just want to keep it really nice and natural, and today there's already straw or even some grain available. No matter what you have, you can add it in wonderfully now as well. And I'll just take a little bit of this and gently tuck it in down here, right into this space. And I'd also like to carefully place some of it on the side, just a small amount, so that a portion of it subtly peeks out from the edge. And of course I also want to... The moss, which I already have here from the mountains, I don't want to cover it up completely, but rather let it peek out nicely. And now, again, I'm taking some heather, just a small bunch. See how much you want to use. And now I'm tying that in here again. Then I'll take a bit more heather. We'll place that on the outside, and of course, don't forget the center so you get really beautiful flowers. And then I'll take a bit more moss, and now I'm alternating everything everywhere. A bit of greenery, a bit of hay, a bit of heather, and let's not forget our beautiful burlap sack. And it also has this really great thick seam here. I also think it's really great when you can actually see that. That means I want this seam, this really thick seam, to show, and I'm going to wrap it in really nice and thick as well.
They won't leave the truth alone. And now you can see the world, but you're blinded by the light.
Wrapped it around once, it went really quickly, and I really like how it turned out. So, as I said, I really enjoy this rustic and country house style, and now I'm going around with the wire here. For example, you could also use this wonderfully as a door wreath. But if you were to use, say, a lovely jute ribbon here and it perfectly matches your door, that's of course absolutely perfect too. That would most probably work wonderfully for our front door as well, Laura, or you could actually do both, at least as long as there's a gentle breeze and until the pumpkins arrive and it's all decorated so nicely for the autumn season, you can definitely hang it on the door. I always highly recommend putting a small bit of soft felt on the back here so the door doesn't get scratched or damaged in any way. Now I'm just going to cut the wire. What I did was I still had a few left. So basically they were almost black pom-poms and I just snipped them off here again. Otherwise it really gets messy. Like here, for example, there's one too. I don't really like how that looks. And the red ones aren't ripe yet. So what I'm going to do now is I don't have any patent fasteners here, but I do have wire, so I'll just cut off a piece. And I basically make a little loop here and just attach the blackberries to the wreath. Be a bit careful because of the thorns, because if they don't look so nice later, you can remove them from the wreath much more easily.
Leading you from reason.
I also think now is the perfect time to always use string lights, which really always create a super cozy atmosphere. And now I'm going to, let me just focus for a moment, use a bundle of string lights. These are suitable for both indoor and outdoor use. I think that the batteries are not very strong at this moment in time, but I would like to carefully split them up a little bit and simply lay them down gently on the beautiful wreath right here.
Straight into the night. Now don't believe him.
So, and the lantern, I've already set it to timer mode. I think it looks really cool now, especially if you have a large table. Oh yes, right? Yeah, it's awesome. Do you like it, Aura? These colors, this combination with the leaves already, and then these little fruits. And what we absolutely mustn't forget, the wonderful fruits of the rose, of course, the rose hips. These are truly valuable. And here, now before I actually use them, I'm just going to carefully put a little bit of moss into this particular partition wall. I always think it's really cool when you get that natural look here again, and that works really well now with the double wall. So I will just carefully fill that in a little bit here, and then I would like to gently place the rose hips right on top. That looks amazing. So beautiful, cool, and really lovely. The chestnuts, I think they look so beautiful. And now they have this wonderful lush green color again. And I'm just going to place them on top here, just as a nice decoration.
He's a liar and a sugar coater. Just wait until.
And with that, we're done with our homemade autumn wreath, I'd say. Right, Laura? Yeah, I'd say so too. Exactly. And all with things we found right outside our door. But you can do this with anything you find along the wayside. Just take a look around. maybe we were able to inspire you a little today. And of course, we'd be happy if you give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Thank you so much again for that. And not to forget, on the 29th of September at 6 p.m, there's another workshop at Hof Oelkers. So I'd be absolutely thrilled if you could join us. It's going to be really lovely and autumnal again, and the atmosphere is always just fantastic. It doesn't matter whether you decorate a lot at home, do crafts, or make wreaths. You don't have to do any of that, because the joy and fun you have at the workshop, that's really the most important thing. And I'll just say, stay really healthy and feel warmly hugged. See you soon. Yours Conny and yours Laura. See you then. Bye.
Till break of dawn. Say what you have to say, but don't forget to leave the motor on. He'll turn around, but you will be gone. You're drinking dirty.